In what looked to be a game heading for straight disaster in the second half, South Carolina managed to hold on to its once very large lead and took down LSU in a 78-68 win in Baton Rouge on Tuesday night. Now, before we get into the large lead that South Carolina once had that really got cut close to a point where you're starting to sweat a little bit, do have to bring up some important numbers from this game. First off, South Carolina, first SEC win of the year. So the Gamecocks are now 500 in conference play. It's also their first quality win of the year over a high major opponent coming into this game. The Gamecocks were 0-5 in quad 1 and quad 2 games. This should go down as a quad 1 win for South Carolina since, number one, it's on the road, and number two, LSU came into the day ranked number 38 in the net. So that should put it, as of right now, at a quad 1 win for South Carolina, which is desperately needed. And number three of all the different stats from tonight, number three, this is the first road win for South Carolina since December 3rd, 2024, all the way back when South Carolina beat Boston College in the SEC ACC Challenge, which snaps a 10-game road losing streak. Now that's all out of the way. Let's get into the game here tonight. Look, South Carolina had a remarkable first half. 50 points, shooting ridiculously well from the field, and hit 10 three-pointers before halftime. Again, leading by 28 points, playing really good basketball. Elijah Strong, who we'll get into more in just a second, just couldn't seem to miss. He was playing extremely well. But like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the lead really got away from the Gamecocks in the second half, and it got to a point where the Tigers were down by single digits and really looking to get to a point where they were going to eventually take the lead for the first time all night. But that's the thing. Despite the Gamecocks not playing great in the second half, they never trailed in this game. They always held on to the lead for as small as it got at certain points. They managed to hang on and continue to have enough room in front of them to where it's like they held off LSU by the end of the night. Now, Elijah Strong was remarkably good tonight. Career high 30 points on 10 of 15 shooting, went 4 of 4 from three-point range. He did foul out near the end of this game, but by that point, South Carolina was pretty much in control after LSU cut the lead down to 7, and then Strong and Eli Ellis hit a pair of big threes to essentially put the game away with just a few minutes remaining. Meechie Johnson also played really well in this game, 19 points on 4 of 9 shooting. And as I mentioned before, Eli Ellis played pretty well as well with 10 points in this game. Defensively, South Carolina looked really sharp in the first half. Just about everything they did in the first half was indescribably good. About the best this team has played all year. The second half looked like the team we've kind of seen to this point all year. But you have to give them a lot of credit. Going on the road, winning this game the way they did, it's not going to look great that they still won by double digits at the end of the day. It's not going to look great that they nearly blew a huge lead. But at the end of the day, they still won this game. And considering how bad this team has been against SEC competition going back to last year, look, this is about as good of a win as you can have with 16 games left to go in the conference slate. And I think the schedule lends itself well this month towards being kind of favorable with more games that I think South Carolina can win as the competition will eventually ramp up at some point in the final 2 months of the year. So the Gamecocks will be back in action on Saturday afternoon, taking on number 18 Georgia at Colonial Life Arena. Tip-off will be at 2 p.m. on ESPN2. So once again, South Carolina picks up its first conference win of the year, beating LSU 78-68 in Baton Rouge on Tuesday. For GamecockCentral.com, I'm Jack Veltri.